Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to deliver a material about language and gender, specifically about William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins theory in 1918. But before we describe more about language and gender by William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins, let us introduce ourselves first. Next. Okay, so we are from group 4, and the members of group 4, there is me, Gusti Ayumade Ari Dharma Pattni, with students registration number 19120212220, and my friends.
My name is Putu Zelda Aldani with students registration number 1912021199.
Okay, so in this video, we are going to discuss about 4 subtopics. So as you can see here, the first topic is definition of language and gender. The second one is introduction of the theory of William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins. The third one is the background of the study, and the last one is the result of the study. Okay, next. Okay, so before we discuss about William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins theory, let's learn about what is language and gender. So what is actually language and gender? So language can be referred to a system of arbitrary vocal symbols used for human communication. So as we know, we use language every day to exchange ideas, thoughts, or to express our feelings with others. Meanwhile, gender can refer to identity that linked to ideas with biological sex, which is the term that we already know, female and male. So a lot of researchers have been done that stated language and gender is closely related, or even more, the differences between the use of language is because of gender. On the other side, the research also have been conducted that stated the differences between the language is not because of gender, and one of them is the theory of William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins. Next. Okay, so now let's learn about William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins theory in 1980. Next. Okay, so O'Barr and Atkins are known for developing the main idea, which is stated that the differences with the languages differences are situation specific. It depends more on the person or who has the authority or the power in the conversation, and not depends on the gender. Moreover, a study of William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins looked at the courtroom cases and witness speech. They describe their research as a powerless language. They also wrote an article which is entitled Woman's Language or Powerless Language. In this article, they describe the whole theory about language and gender. In this study, William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins study about language variation in specific context. In this case, the American trial courtroom and gender-related differences. Furthermore, the result of this study challenged that what had lack of in 1975 presented. Okay, next. Okay, this is the background of the study of William O'Barr and Bowman Atkins. So the study about courtroom was held for 30 months by observing a broad spectrum of witnesses. Moreover, O'Barr and Atkins examined 10 basic speech differences between man and woman that have been proposed by Robin and Lakoff. Okay, so for the next material, which is about woman's language, will be presented by my friend Zelda. So Zelda, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Gary, for the time. So now I will continue the presentation. So as what explained by Gary earlier, that O'Barr and Atkins studied courtroom cases for 3 months, observing a broad spectrum of witnesses and examining them for the 10 basic speech differences between men and women that lack of purpose. So these differences or women's language components consisted of some components. Wait, I think I have a problem here to share the screen. Okay, so can you see the screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so I will continue the presentation. So here are the components of woman language. The first one is hadiths, then tag questions, anti-adjective, hypercorrect grammar and punctuation, super polite forms, avoiding coarse language, speaking less frequently, apologizing more, indirect requests, and using to emphasize words. So what means by hadiths here is the house in the form of phrases word or filler contained in conversation sentences to lack of self-confidence, information that is not fully accurate, uncertainty, doubt, and confusion. And then the question is the question followed by a statement or a declarative sentence, and more of them are used because of someone's uncertainty about the statement that he or she said. Then empty adjectives here are the word only concerns emotional reactions rather than specific information. There are adjectives that are mostly used by women only, such as adorable, charming, sweet, lovely, gorgeous, cute, and so on. And then hypercorrect grammar and punctuation. So hypercorrect grammar and punctuation is the consistent use of standard verb forms, involves avoidance of terms considered vulgar or coarse, such as aimed, and the use of precise punctuation. And then super polite forms. So here women are supposed to speak more politely than men. In the same sense, a request may be a very polite order, which doesn't require open obedience, but suggests something to do as help or sympathy to speaker. So America's proposed differences were not necessarily the result of being a woman, but of being powerless. They used 3 men and 3 women to prove this was that to prove the study. So the first man and first woman both spoke with high frequency of women's language, where the woman was a 68-year-old housewife and the man drove an ambulance, suggesting stereotypically that power and control would perhaps be lacking from their lives. And then the other pair is between the policeman and a doctor. Both testified as expert witnesses, suggesting that the power they experienced in their jobs and lives meant that they had less components of women's language. And another pair is man and woman, that is felt between first 2 pairs frequency of hedges and tag questions in their speech. So study based on what had been done by William Ober and Brown Atkins. So, based on the study conducted, the results is decline lack of theory in 1975. They discovered that the differences were not necessarily the results of being women but being powerless, or it is known as powerless language. From this study, Ober and Atkins concluded that the quoted speech patterns were neither characteristic of all women nor limited to only women. According to the study conducted, the woman who used the lowest frequency of women's language traits had an unusual high status. They were well educated professionals with middle class backgrounds. A corresponding pattern was noted among the men who spoke with a low frequency of women's language traits. Over and Atkins tried to emphasize that a powerful position may derive from either social standing um, in a larger society and or status accorded by the court. Well, I think that's all that I can explain. So I will return back the time to Gary.
Okay, thank you, Zelda, for your explanation. Okay, I think that's all about our explanation about the theory of William Over and Bowman Atkins. If we do any mistake, please apologize, and I'll close it with thank you.